Imagine possessing wealth so immense it's nearly impossible to quantify in today's terms. Meet Mansa Musa, the richest person in history. His fortune was a spectacle that left historians wide-eyed and economists scratching their heads. So, who was this man of unimaginable wealth? Mansa Musa was a 14th century West African ruler who was so rich that his lavish spending reportedly deflated the economy of an entire region. Mansa Musa was the king of Mali, an empire that stretched over 2,000 miles from the Atlantic Ocean all the way to modern-day Niger, taking in parts of what are now Senegal, Mauritania, Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, the Gambia, Guinea-Bissau, Guinea and Ivory Coast. Yes, his kingdom was vast, and so was his wealth. His wealth was accumulated from the vast resources of gold and salt found within his empire. The Mali Empire was responsible for almost half of the Old World's gold, sourced from 3 huge mines within its borders. And it wasn't just gold. The empire also sat upon a mountain of salt, a resource as valuable as gold in the 14th century. But how much was Mansa Musa actually worth? Well, it's difficult to put a definitive number on his wealth. Some economic historians estimate it to be around $400 billion, but it could be much more. In the 14th century, Mansa Musa had almost a monopoly on the world's production of gold and salt, which would, in today's terms, make him the richest person in history. To truly comprehend the life of Mansa Musa, we must journey back to the late 13th century, to the heart of his empire in West Africa. A time when Europe was struggling through the Dark Ages, a king in Africa was amassing a fortune that would make today's billionaires look like they're living paycheck to paycheck. So buckle up as we delve into the life of the man who could quite possibly be the richest individual to have ever lived. Mansa Musa ascended to the throne in 1312, a period when the Mali Empire was flourishing. Born in the 13th century, Mansa Musa's early life remained shrouded in mystery, much like the gold mines that would later define his wealth. He was a grandnephew of Sundiata Keita, the founder of the Mali Empire. But Musa's journey to the throne wasn't a direct line of inheritance. Instead, his ascension came about through a unique agreement. When Mansa Musa's predecessor, Abu Bakr II, embarked on an expedition across the Atlantic Ocean, he left Musa as his deputy. As the story goes, Abu Bakr II never returned, and Mansa Musa took the throne, stepping into a period of unprecedented prosperity. As king, Mansa Musa proved to be an effective leader. He expanded the Mali Empire, which at its height stretched across a vast expanse of West Africa, from the Atlantic coast to the salt mines of Tagaza and the gold mines of Bouré. The empire's wealth came from its control of these valuable resources, as well as its strategic location on the trans-Saharan trade routes. Mansa Musa's capital was Niani, a bustling hub of commerce and culture. But it was the cities of Timbuktu and Gao that truly shone under his rule. These cities became renowned centers of Islamic learning, attracting scholars and artists from across the Muslim world. Mansa Musa himself was a devout Muslim, and his commitment to Islam played a pivotal role in shaping the cultural and religious landscape of his empire. In his early years as king, Mansa Musa laid the foundations for a prosperous reign. He organized the empire into provinces, each governed by a farba, or governor, who was directly accountable to him. This system of governance ensured stability and efficiency, key elements that allowed the Mali Empire to thrive and flourish. Mansa Musa's reign was just beginning, but his true wealth was yet to be revealed to the world. His unassuming rise to power would soon give way to an era of opulence and grandeur, the likes of which the world had never seen before. But that's a story for another time. In 1324, Mansa Musa embarked on a legendary journey that would forever etch his name in the annals of history. This was not an ordinary voyage. It was a pilgrimage, a sacred journey to the holy city of Mecca, a journey mandated by his Islamic faith. But what set this particular pilgrimage apart was its sheer scale. Imagine a procession stretching as far as the eye can see. At the helm, Mansa Musa, the Lion of Mali, resplendent in his royal regalia. Behind him, an entourage of thousands, a spectacle of human perseverance and devotion. This was no ordinary crowd, but a sea of scholars, bureaucrats, soldiers, and slaves, each playing their part in this grand narrative. Then there was the gold, so much gold. It's said that Mansa Musa carried with him a treasure trove of the precious metal, estimated at about 5,000 kilograms. The gold was not just a symbol of his unfathomable wealth, but a tool of diplomacy, a token of goodwill that he generously distributed along his journey. As Mansa Musa traversed the Sahara, passed through Egypt, and finally reached Mecca, word of his pilgrimage spread like wildfire. The world watched in awe as this African king undertook a journey of faith and endurance, a journey that spanned thousands of miles and left an indelible mark on the societies he touched. Mansa Musa's pilgrimage was not just an act of religious piety. It was a statement, a declaration of his power and wealth. Yet it was a demonstration of the might of the Mali Empire, an empire rich in culture, learning, and resources, an empire that was at its zenith under Mansa Musa's rule. Mansa Musa's pilgrimage was a spectacle that commanded the world's attention. It was a journey that transcended borders and cultures, a journey that made Mansa Musa a global icon and put the Mali Empire firmly on the world stage. Mansa Musa's pilgrimage not only demonstrated his immense wealth, but also put the Mali Empire on the map. Mansa Musa's impact extended far beyond his wealth. Indeed, his influence on education, architecture, and culture was nothing short of transformative. Under Mansa Musa, the Mali Empire became a beacon of intellectual enlightenment. He had a profound appreciation for knowledge, and he demonstrated this by investing heavily in education. His most notable contribution was the establishment of the University of Sankore in Timbuktu. This institution attracted scholars from all over Africa and the Middle East, becoming a nerve center for the exchange of ideas and intellectual discourse. It's a testament to Mansa Musa's vision that this university remains an important historical site to this day. In terms of architecture, Mansa Musa commissioned the construction of numerous grand mosques and palaces. These structures were not just symbols of his immense wealth, but they also reflected the artistic and architectural sophistication of the Mali Empire. The grandeur of these edifices, characterized by intricate designs and ambitious scale, mirrored the ambitious spirit of Mansa Musa himself. Beyond the tangible, Mansa Musa also had a profound influence on culture. He fostered an environment where arts and literature thrived. His court became a hub for poets, artists, and scholars, contributing to the cultural richness of the Mali Empire. His rule was a golden age for African art and literature, and echoes of this cultural boom can still be seen today. However, the Mali Empire began to decline after Mansa Musa's death in 1337. Without his leadership, the empire struggled to maintain its vast territories and wealth. Despite this, Mansa Musa's legacy endured. His contributions to education, architecture, and culture have left an indelible mark on history. Mansa Musa left an indelible mark on history, a ruler whose wealth was only surpassed by his ambition to cultivate a rich cultural legacy. His reign may have ended centuries ago, but the echoes of his influence still reverberate in the annals of history. Mansa Musa was more than just the richest man ever lived. He was a visionary who used his wealth to leave a lasting cultural legacy. Today, Mansa Musa's story continues to captivate and inspire. His reign over the Mali Empire, one of the richest in history, has left an indelible mark on the world. This wasn't just a man, but a symbol of unprecedented wealth and power who ruled over a kingdom that literally turned sand into gold. Mansa Musa's influence transcended his lifetime and geographical borders. His wealth, generosity, and strategic leadership have been the subject of countless books, documentaries, and even found their way into pop culture. He's been referenced in songs, films, and even video games, a testament to the enduring fascination with his wealth and reign. His legacy also continues in the stories of his architectural projects, some of which still stand today, whispering tales of a time when gold was as common as dust. Mansa Musa, a king who turned sand into gold. A story that continues to inspire, a legacy that lives on.